Hey guys, Ray from Love You RV. So I'm back with a video today I'm calling 15 RV odds and ends product review updates. So I know from experience that my viewers like it when I come back with a longer term review, sort of update on the product. There's nothing quite like using a product for a year or two in the real world to see how it truly performs. More likes and dislikes can crop up, plus the test of the product's durability over time. So here are 15 updates to products I've reviewed in the past year or two. I call it the odds and ends update because I didn't find these products demanded a full dedicated update video, just a short clip on each. We'll start with the Camco Evoflex water hose. The Evoflex has worked out pretty well so far. Thumbs up from me. I like how lightweight it is. The material stays rubbery feeling even when it gets cold. Being more pliable than traditional, stiffer RV water hoses, the 35 feet rolls up much more compact, so easier to store. However, you have to pay attention to make sure it doesn't get twisted as you're rolling it, or it'll develop kinks pretty easily when you're rolling it up. But I've kind of figured out how to twirl it and keep it lined up so it rolls up nice. One negative I find is with the female end that attaches to your camp spigot. Due to the small diameter and smooth nickel coating, it can be kind of hard to twist it on and basically twist it off if it's really tight. Though, of course, that can be easily solved with the addition of a hose adapter or a quick connect, something like that. Next, we have the Flagpole Buddy. I've had a flagpole for many years, and a couple years ago I decided to get really a premium flagpole. This one went for $139. I picked it up at Quartzsite. So far, zero problems with the ladder mounting hardware. The fiberglass is really good quality, and it can take a high wind load. My other pole used to flex much worse in the higher wind, so this one's a little bit stiffer. It's a 22-footer as well, so it can really go up there. One upgrade I did, though, was to purchase some all-metal flag holders. They work and last much better than the included plastic ones. I found the plastic kind of bushings would always kind of come apart, and I'd always be kind of re-gluing them back together, that sort of thing. Next is my Ambient Weather station. So Anne gave this to me as a Christmas present a couple years ago, and it spent the entire winter on the BC coast. A lot of hot summer days and has been blasted by desert dust storms and hasn't missed a beat. The little solar panel on the external sensor array works really well. I've only had to change the AA backup batteries in that unit once in that time. I did do a mod for the inside display that's working well. I put in a small DC to DC buck converter to step down our 12-volt DC RV power to the 5-volt DC the display panel uses. And also the Wi-Fi and the cloud features work as advertised. So overall, I'm really happy with this weather station. Next is something called a ladder gadget. It's a handy item for hanging bird feeders or clothes to dry. It was priced and billed as a product that would last an RVer's lifetime, and so far I believe it. Nice to see a product these days that was built so well. Outside for 4 years now in all sorts of weather, and it's still as good as new. The clamp always stays firmly attached to the ladder and never loosens, so I really like this product. Next we have the King Jack TV antenna. I installed the King Jack RV antenna last fall. I like the fact I don't have to remember to crank it back down like the old Winegard Batwing style, and I have more room for solar panels on the roof now. But honestly, its reception is just okay. It's nothing to write home about, and my impression is the old antenna could pick up more stations. The digital signal finder is mostly a gimmick, mostly inaccurate in my experience. Overall, it works well enough for our needs, and I'll stick with it versus returning to the old Batwing type. Now let's get to my Country Smokers electric pellet grill. I've cooked many different types and cuts of meats on this grill so far, and they've all turned out excellent. So tasty. Dinner guests are always incredibly impressed with the results. I think my favorite is the pork roasts. Overall, I found the grill is pretty well set and forget for slow cooking. However, I have to pay close attention during the startup period. It seems to be a critical time, and if not done right, a fire in the wood pellet auger can happen. Early on, I forgot to leave the lid open during the startup, and the pellets in the auger caught fire. I didn't notice until the grill temp was 500 degrees. I turned it off, removed the wood chips from the hopper, and let it sit till it cooled off. I now set my wireless thermometer to warn me if the grill temp is getting too high. And next we have the Outland fire bowl. I'm glad I was able to find room in the basement storage of the trailer compartment to bring along the gas fire pit. It's a hit with Anne. She loves it for happy hour in the desert as the sun goes down and morning coffee. Takes the chill off, warmer once the rocks heat up. Not as good if there's a breeze blowing the heat away, and nowhere near as hot as a wood fire, but super convenient. Then we have my Thermopro wireless barbecue thermometer. This stocking stuffer gift from my wife works excellent. She picked up a good one with easy to see digits, dual temperature probes, and a decent wireless range. I find it's a must-have when slow cooking with my wood pellet smoker. Sometimes they've been known to have the pellets catch fire inside the auger and lead to a runaway overheating condition. I have the wireless inside thermometer set to alert me if the grill temperature gets too far above my set range. RV bug stop. The RV bug stop has worked fine. The 3M tape is held in place with no signs of loosening. But it is kind of an inconvenience when both doors are closed. I hated opening the screen flap to open the main door all the time. We're not always camping in hot summery weather. We spend a large part of the year in milder climates with both doors closed. So I did a slight mod. I added a hook and a chain to keep the flap open when desired, and that's worked well. Sort of related with the screen door is the screenshot door closer. When I received the screenshot door closer from Lippert for review, I quickly realized it wouldn't fit properly. It's designed for a Lippert screen door and not my Challenger brand door. Thinking outside the box, I modded the installation to use it still. I mounted it down on the lower portion of the Challenger door, and so far everything's worked out well and we're happy with the functionality. Reolink Go security camera. I've been using the Reolink Go security camera for about 2.5 years now, and it's held up well. Video footage is still sharp with good light and color balance. Black and white night footage is pretty decent as well. It's seen lots and lots of rain on the west coast and even some winter temps with no ill effects. I don't find I use the cellular capacity very much, but it's nice to have if we leave the RV for a few days. As for the solar panel it came with, I give it a thumbs down. Over the years, the plastic finish has dulled and cracked, reducing its power output. They should have used a glass panel. Another security camera I have is called the HomeHawk window camera. I love the little HomeHawk window security camera. I added a 128 gigabyte micro SD card and set it to record 24/7. You can view live video or record clips via Wi-Fi or over the internet from anywhere using the app. Or I can pull out the micro SD card and view the recording in my laptop. It is handy to see who may have been lurking around the RV via its motion sensing software, which is very accurate at picking people out. One thing I do with it is to stitch together the 5-minute video clips and create cool time-lapse videos. Since it's recording 24/7, it never misses a beautiful sunset or a cool-looking cloud formation drifting by. The only negatives I have to say are after the few months in the heat of the window, the suction cup became useless. So I used the 3M tape strip instead. It's been fine since. Also, it doesn't perform very well in low light situations. Being behind glass, I guess it can't use the regular infrared night lights other security cams have. Lifetime folding tables. I'm happy with our lifetime folding tables. I picked them up at Home Depot a few years ago. Easy to set up and store, folding down nice and flat. I'm amazed how they handle the heavy winds and stay upright when our camp chairs have been sent flying. They're a little heavier than some camping tables on the market, but super sturdy and can hold a ton of weight. They also can be easily adjusted to different heights. Lighted magnifier mirror. Next, I have a quick update on the magnifier mirror installation. I was a little concerned about traveling, but no problems after several thousand miles towed. When we pack up for travel, we drape a towel over it. and it doesn't really move around at all. And finally, the Mopika wireless propane tank gauges. If you saw my previous videos on the Mopika tank gauges, you know that I had some issues. We often camp in cold, wet climates where frost can quickly form on the LP gas cylinder. The cold and condensation ruined one of my Mopika sensors. I opened the dud sensor case and traced the fault to a shorted microprocessor chip. I contacted the company and they sent a new sensor out under warranty. When the warranty replacement sensor arrived, I noticed the newer model had a one-way air valve added to its case. I imagine that is to let moisture out of the sensor case to avoid failures. I decided to coat the circuit board to protect the electronics even more. It is almost a full year later now and the system has worked perfectly. It's nice to get accurate propane levels. So there you go. That's 15 updates on some of the odds and ends that I've reviewed over the past couple years. Hope you found that useful. Till next time, Ray from loveyourrv.com. Cheers, everyone.